Hi, I'm Chris from Airwindows, and hey, you can do this. Let's just do a little bit of showing you what that was. Bounce back to OBS, and welcome to XRegion. Here, let me pad the volume a little bit. XRegion is the most recent in filter plugins. What I do with it, it might sound really unusual and even hard to hear what I'm saying, or and that's because XRegion is a, here, let me unpad the volume. XRegion is a series distorted bandpass filter. This is something that came out of the work that I was doing with the other ones, like the XBandpass and XNotch and so on. I thought, what would happen if we took a notch filter, like for instance this one, and had the Nuke control so we can sweep it downwards until it's a lower frequency or up here and so on. And then, as usual, if we turn up the Nuke, we have actually come to think of it, yes, it is five. It's 5 bandpass filters in series, but what would happen if you spread them out so that they were over different frequency ranges? Like, they were all distorted bandpass filters, but the first one started at this frequency and progressively moved until the last one went to this frequency. And what you'd get is a set of bandpass filters, each of which distort, but it's in order. And it's compensating with additional gain to make up for the fact that when you move the bandpasses apart, you start losing gain on them. Here, let's pad the sound again. And again, the Nuke control for this one is going back to that first one, and then we progressively add more until we go all the way to the sort of full Monty there. And gain helps you manipulate it. So what do you get when you're doing this? If you're doing it with the first control being the highest frequency one, when it's, it's a little out of control, this. We can move it up here, and this is giving us a intense bandpass distortion. And the high frequency stuff is distorting first. And then it's going progressively to lower and lower frequency bandpasses, ending up with the low frequency ones. So it has a kind of weird guitar ampy-like resonance going on, which of course we can exaggerate by distorting and throwing the gain on there. But if we do it the opposite way, like this, we have one where the low frequency distorts first, and then progressively we go up step by step, and the result is we're exaggerating the overtones. We're exaggerating the overtones of the distortion, because this is the first one. That's really hard to hear. So that one's the first one, and that's distorting real hard, and then we have a series of other ones that are staggered, going higher in frequency, so they're tending to notch out, or bandpass filter out, the lowest frequency and keep only the distortion factors. And then as we exaggerate it further, you get it to where it's doing that over and over again, and it is completely crazy. And we can make really strange noises this way. And it's very weird. As I can demonstrate. Firstly. The super distorting stuff, where it's distorting high frequencies and then filtering them down to be lower. XRegion. XRegion is a very aggressive effect, as you can plainly hear. And it's the most recent in my X series, which I'm continuing. That's kind of painful, isn't it? Let's stop that. So X series is my series of experimental filters, which I hope you enjoy. It's kind of inspired by the way that the drum and bass folks want me to work on the sampler filters that they wanted in the box. It's probably, I mean, I haven't even been able to record new music for a while, so that'll be happening at some point too. But I'll be working on going into that. This is the preparation stuff. This is me finding out what you can do with really gnarly, crude, old digital filtering with distortion and stuff going on in it. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with how XRegion worked out, although it's a nasty, nasty effect. Those of you that will like this will probably not have heard anything quite like it, because the ways that you can sweep the filters against each other do give you a kind of industrial grind and grunge and filter sweepiness that it doesn't exist anywhere else. So this is not a clone of like an EMU filter of any kind, because they didn't have this one. But it's an Airwindows filter, and I hope you like it. What I'm going to be working on going forwards is there's a few more filters I have in mind. But I've also, like the folks over at Surge Synthesizer, which is worth checking out, are enjoying Galactic a lot. And I thought it would be nice to work on a variation on those feed-forward reverbs with, rather than a 4x4 matrix, a 3x3 matrix, so it can be a little bit more lightweight and a little bit more sort of immediate. And like the Galactic and Verbity reverbs are very intensely sustained and resonant, and it should be possible to get a similar kind of tone quality that's using more in the way of regeneration and falls away a little bit quicker rather than these super long duration reverbs. And it would also be more lightweight, so I'm looking to maybe put together something that'll work as a vocal reverb or a light ambience kind of thing. I might want to do both end-to-end reverb, which is a dual mono reverb, meaning that if you have a stereo mix and you make a sound in the left, the reverb is only on the left. And doing reverb subtly, that does give you bigger stereo wideness and an interesting blend, but it's not at all a convincing reproduction of an acoustic space. So there's also a place for the purely stereo reverbs like Galactic. The difference between Verbity and Galactic is, if I'm remembering correctly, which I think I am, Verbity is one of your dual mono style, and Galactic is designed to be stereo from the get-go. And it seems like a good idea to try to get a more vocal reverb style of thing
in lines with that. So yeah, Airwindows is Patreon supported. So if you like me continuing to do these things, whether they be pretty or incredibly nasty and giving the plugins to you, then you kind of know what to do. It's doing pretty well, but as it passes beyond, say, around $2,000 a month, I start saving up the money that I earn from that to get more and fancier gear to emulate. And granted, I still have to do the emulation on the EMU sampler that I do have, but once I've done that, having put some of the groundwork in for doing that work, people also want the 1200. People also want the classic 12-bit samplers. And that's a little harder to lay hands on. So that's sort of more of an aspirational goal. I'll be moving in that direction as things progress. For the time being, I'm probably going to jump online tomorrow for a coding stream and work on reformulating the reverb thing so that people can have that. Then if the Surge synthesizer people like Galactic so much, they can have a variation on that. I'm not sure what I'd call it, but I'll think of something. That'll be more of a smaller and more controlled space rather than just the entirely giant reverb thing. And it would also be lower CPU. All of this stuff is coming out as Mac AU, Mac VST, Windows VST in 32 and 64-bit, Linux VST, and native Mac for the M1 processor in both AU and VST. And at the time that you see this video, all of that is already out, so you should be able to download it and enjoy it. And I hope you enjoy XRegion. It's one of those ones that really the basic idea behind it was that I simply wanted to see whether you could make a cool sound through having sets of bandpasses along the frequency spectrum for a sort of single big extra wide bandpass. And what I got, well, I am not even really sure what I got, but it's a pretty outrageous effect. Oh, also, one more thing. If you would like YouTube to show my videos to more people, you know what to do. I don't think I need to tell you after every YouTuber in the entire world has said the thing. I don't have to say the thing, I will have to say, if you want YouTube to show these videos to people, you know what to do. I'll talk to you folks later. Bye-bye.